Hi everyone, I'm James, and in today's video on the restoration of my Spitfire, we're going to be setting up the voltage regulator to put out the right voltage. So the first thing we're going to want to do is take the cover off the voltage regulator. Okay, so here are the three coils and their adjusters. So on this end we have the cutout coil, the current regulator coils in the middle, and the voltage regulator coils on the end. So as I follow through the maintenance manual, first part of the process is to adjust the voltage regulator, and to do that we are to put a piece of cardboard between the armature and the contactor of the cutoff relay. And when we complete this process, there's also a note there saying that we should do this as quickly as possible so we don't overheat things. Now what we're going to be doing is adjusting this coil here, and I'll be using a couple of screwdrivers in place of the official lever tool, which would slot into that hole there. If you've got one of those, good on you. Otherwise, could watch what I do and potentially copy it. I've also put a bit of switch cleaner lubricant on all the pots to make them a little easier to turn, hopefully, and left that to dry. So this will get noisy because we need to run the engine at 3000 RPM. So I'll just video and you can watch along, and I'll try and position the camera so you can see the voltage. The first thing to do is connect up our voltmeter to the right points. So I have connected that to the negative of the battery, this carb being negative earthed. And the instruction manual talks about connecting to the warning light connection on the regulator, but that is the same connection as the distributor main connection, which is what you're actually measuring. So given it's easier to get to, that's where I have connected the positive lead. So that's the main terminal for the generator, not the field coil connection. Then you can tell the difference basically by the size of the wire. So the big one is the one we want. Alright, I'm happy with that. I was aiming for about 15 volts as per the table, and that's about what we got. Right, so now we adjust the cutout voltage. So that's where we start with the cutout coil, and I've already removed that piece of cardboard now, so that can work. And what we're looking for is with a load on, so I'll turn the headlights on. As the revs increase, the voltage should increase, but then cut out at a point which is within the range of that same table. Okay, I'm pretty happy with where those voltages got to in the end, just with a bit of tweaking at the various voltage ranges. So that's measuring the generator. Now I want to see how that reflects measuring the actual battery voltage. So you can see there we're on the battery at the moment. So I'll now start the car and see what that does. We're getting too low a voltage on the battery now, so I am just going to tweak that voltage back a bit. Back up a bit. See what we get this time. Okay, so everything was getting a bit confusing there for a bit, so I took a break till the next day, let the car cool down stuff, because that was possibly affecting things. And I've just set the voltage and the cut-in. I'm not going to bother with the current coil, but this at least gets the voltage around the right level. The setting up of the current coil requires you to max out the load on the generator, and it's all very complicated. So this is enough tuning for me for now. So I've got the voltage on the voltage coil set now between the prescribed 4.9 and 15.5, sorry, 14.9 and 15.5 volts. And you once you've set that, then you set the cut-in after taking the little piece of cardboard out and turning the headlights on for a load. You then set the cutout so that is also within that range when it drops the voltage down. So you'll see that happen in the video next. So that obviously isn't working the way I planned, so I guess you'll get to see me tweak it again. So I'm going to go in here with my 2 screwdrivers. You can see there, hopefully, the relay cutting in far too soon now, with the most minor of adjustments. Right, you would have seen there, it's about right now, hitting at about 15.5 volts and then cutting in. It's a little high, but it's cooperating on that side. It's certainly not releasing as quickly as it should, because it should still be in that range when it releases, I think, and that requires some mechanical adjustment of the whole unit. So this is by no means a full calibration, but it should now be putting out a reasonable voltage. So the next thing I'll do is actually test the output. So we'll take our positive lead off the alternator and put it on the battery side of things. Okay, so that wasn't quite as successful as I'd hoped. You saw there that the voltage was a bit low at low revs, and that cutout relay is not cutting out when it should, probably half the reason for that. So there's more work to be done on these systems to get them really up to speed, adjusting the spring tension and things like that, which requires quite a lot of effort that, well, doesn't worry me right now. My main concern was the fact that it was putting out 16 volts normally, which was far too much when I want to connect a few extra things to the circuit. So that's the video for today. Thanks for watching. If you got this far, consider hitting that subscribe button. That really helps me out a lot. And if you're already subscribed, thank you. So until next time, have a good day. Bye.